Hello, welcome to the video, welcome to this week's vlog. It is Sunday the 16th, it is now 20 to 12, so it's a super late one. And I just feel like a bit of a chat. Just getting some stuff out of my brain. Now, I feel pretty good, I feel pretty positive, I feel pretty happy about everything. I'm just very tired. Sleep deprivation this week has been a killer. Now, for the most part, Leo has been sleeping okay, but for the past couple of days, not so much. I think chef life is busy. Today's been busy. A good 13-hour day today. And I never sleep well after finishing work late. Although I probably should go to bed early, as it is now getting on a bit. But I digress. So let's catch up on my little candle business. This month so far on Amazon, I've sold 55 candles, and that has been £1,092 in revenue, with a net profit of £347 and a margin of like 31%, which isn't too bad. That's okay. It feels like it's been a bit slower than I'd wanted, but I've just started with these. Everything's sort of in stock now and it's building up, so it's going to take a bit of time. And I've sold 17 on my website. I started with a bit of meta ads, but then it just started burning money, so I've just paused that whilst I wait. So I've got a really itchy nose. Trying not to look like I'm picking my nose on camera, but you're gonna have to roll with it. Oh man, it's super cold as well. Yeah, 17 orders on Shopify, which is 530 pounds. So that's not too bad. I'm definitely getting more orders on my website. I don't know what this is about on my website than I have been previously, so I'm happy with that. It's a slow, steady grind. It feels like at the moment I'm more or less starting from scratch because of everything that's happened. The stopping, the starting, the baby, me running out of stock because everything ran out, all this kind of stuff. It feels like I'm kind of starting from the beginning. But once again, I feel like I don't know if I'm on the right path, you know? You don't know what you don't know, so it feels hard to work out if you're on the right path. But you often get these gut instincts and these feelings and intuitions towards things. And recently with everything with the baby, it's been a challenging time in a good way. And I haven't got the same time I had before. During October, November, December, I was staying up late, I was getting up early, I was doing all the candle tins. I was selling 700, 800 candle tins a month, plus wholesale orders right at the peak. I was selling loads of candles and I was burning myself out. So when they ran out of stock in middle of December for where I got the candle tins to wholesaler, I was actually quite pleased because work was destroying me, candles was destroying me, impending thoughts of the baby. It was all too much. I was reaching a bit of a burnout, so I was quite pleased. So I need to work out a sustainable way to move forwards in the future. How could I do less and make more? And I don't quite know if these are the vehicles to get me there, these candles. So I'll backtrack a little bit. So the candle tins I had before, I was using Sasol container wax, which is a really good paraffin wax. It's mixed with vegetable triglycerides. Yep, word. So it's mostly paraffin with a few, man, I literally can't speak, mostly paraffin with some vegetable wax in there as well. But I got really good sand throw from it, which is amazing. But it is a double pour. So when you pour it the first time, you get a proper sinkhole. And I thought I could maybe maneuver around that by using a heat gun. But because paraffin wax has such a high melting point, you need to get a lot of heat on it and it just took too long. So you have to do a double pour. So you end up pouring 75% of your candle and then you do another 25% top up later, which is a lot of work. You just want to do something once, don't you? But because it had such good results, the scent throw was amazing. The candles were really good. I was very pleased with them. I thought I could suck it up and just do it. But it was just a very lengthy process. It just meant I had a lot of candle tins constantly semi-finished, and then I'd go and top them all up, and then I'd wrap the labels around and I'd put a label on top. I felt like the whole thing just took a lot of time. And it did. From the making, to the labeling, to that, and then to putting it in wrapping it in tissue paper, putting it in a box. The whole thing was lengthy. And if I'm totally honest, I think looking back on it, I hated the process. I think I made it harder than it needed to be. It worked, it was popular, but it's a learning curve. I think I made that difficult. And I think that's what I've done with this. Again, I think I've made life difficult. So it's a woodwick candle, as you guys know. I'm really happy with this. I spent hundreds, maybe even thousands of pounds. Well, maybe not. Maybe about £1,000 trying to test different woodwicks because I'm stubborn. Most people would have given up by now. I'm an idiot. I did not want to give up, so I persevered. And it's a really good candle. I'm really happy with it. They burn excellently. They crackle. They are great. But similarly, I've got to print these labels off, and that takes time. And they don't quite sit well. You can see they sort of bubble up a bit, unless I really press down. So it takes a bit of time to put the labels on. Then I put the twine on, and I think without the twine, I don't think these jars look great. It's just a very long process. And this is M12 wax I'm using, which is a coconut soy wax with highly refined petroleum jelly in it, which adds that sort of paraffin aspect. So it just has a really good scent through. Burns for ages. Like, it's honestly one of the best candles I've ever made. But it sets really hard. It's a bit like the previous wax, the Sasol container wax. It sets super, super hard. So when I put it in here, it contracts so much that it shakes around in the jar. So if it was me getting a candle and it turns up and it shakes around in the jar, I'll just be like, what? That's a bit weird. That's a bit strange. So I ended up doing a double pour. So that fits in the crevices down the sides and solves that issue. But I've gone back to doing what I was doing before. I'm now doing a double pour. You see what I mean? I'm making life twice as hard. It doesn't need to be that hard. But I thought I could persevere with it because these candles are amazing. But equally, I don't know if I've gone too far out there with the labels. I think some people will like them. I think other people won't like them. I like that AI aspect to it. I like the individuality. I like all of it, but I just don't know if they're a bit too wacky. I don't know if they're a bit too out there. I don't know if they're quite me. I think I started off with something and I've just gone maybe too far. I feel like I've maybe Frankensteined my brand a bit now. They're not... They're a bit more fun. I think I was trying to do something in my own way. And then I thought I'd start incorporating foodie candles, bakery scents, because that's popular. And that would get me some of the monies. And that's why I started doing fonts like that, because I thought that'd be quite cool. So yeah, I just don't quite know what my brand is anymore. I don't know if it entirely resonates with me and what I wanted to do in the beginning. I feel like I got some success with the book style candles and the bookshop ones. And that became my niche and that became my target audience. I was like, right, that's working. So let's double down on that. And that's going to become my thing. I'm going to go all in on that. And it worked really well. But I don't know if it is entirely deep down me. What is entirely deep down me? That sounds weird when I keep saying stuff like that. I look at my whiteboard, which is over there. Is the storytelling. It's the memories, it's the nostalgia. It's the things I like. So the Nagachampa one I've got is an incense. And back when I was 16, 17, I used to do martial arts and I got into like buying nunchucks and incense and meditation and stuff like that. So that reminds me of that time in my teenage years when I'd be lighting incense and stuff like that. I've got a coast candle, which reminds me of the seaside. That's where I grew up. I've got a forest one. I love going for walks in the forest. Like that's what I like. That's what resonates with me. And I don't know if I'm just... I don't know. I said, this is just a bit of a chat because that's what's on my mind. So I don't know if these are the right vehicle to get me to where I want to go. I think I've created a hard job. It takes too long to pour the candles, then to label it, and then to put the twine on. I think it just takes too long. I'm not going to give these up right now, but I'm just thinking in the future whether I slide in a new line of candles to coincide with this, and I maybe stick to just doing 3 or 4 woodwick candles that work really well, that are popular, and then slide in cotton wicks. And I've got a few ideas how I want to do that. But I need to probably backpedal a little bit to what got me to thinking about trying that. So I wanted to start doing slightly different videos, because all my videos recently have been like very vloggy. I wanted to start getting into teaching more about the candles, because I've basically purchased everything you can possibly buy in the UK in terms of wicks, wax, wood wicks, vessels. Maybe not all the vessels, but I've tried all the raw materials to make a candle. I can make a very good candle now. So I wanted to go back into teaching. So not teaching, but like, you know what I mean? Making good videos that would maybe help people. Some of the best ones I've done that perform well are 2 years old. Like, what's the best candle wax? So I bought some random candle waxes. I've got some RCX, there's some golden 464, there's some C3 and stuff like that. And I started making a few candles. I started off with one of these, one of the like gel style candles. You know, you see the cold brew ones everywhere, and I think that's really cool. It's just a tester, and then I made some other testers in these jars, just with different waxes, and I used some 464, the European version, and it actually made a really good candle. It really surprised me. Like, the cold throw was absolutely amazing, and the hot throw after a few days of just curing was incredible. Whereas I'm sure before I used golden 464 and it just made a pretty rubbish candle, but that made something really good. And that's just one pour, and the glass adhesion was pretty good. And I swear before I had wet spots and I had frosting, I had all sorts of issues, but whether the European version is vastly superior, I don't know. But that's led me to question everything I'm doing in the pursuit of my brand. Most people I watch that make candles, they're not faffing around as much as me. I think I'm trying to add extra value by adding all of these bits, the AI labels, the tags, the woodwick, when all I really need to do to tell a story is just have a good scent and a good label. I don't need much else. So yeah, with the testing with the 464, it's just made me think a bit. So I think what I'm going to do is document the process of me just adding in a new line of candles and seeing how it goes. So I've got a few concepts of labels already that I'm working on. Just something very simple. Very simple indeed. And I think with this channel, with everything, just trying to be open and honest about what I'm doing, the highs and the lows and the progress with everything. So I've got a few different labels here that I've been working on. So it's just very simple. It tells a story. I can get a lot more on that, whereas, say for instance there's only 4 labels on there. On that there's 10. That's less work in itself in printing. It's less work of me just putting one on there. So that's what it looks like on a jar. You know, it's all less work. These jars don't have lids either. So it means it's something I can just sip in a bag and just sell. And then put in a box. There's a lot less processes. And I've been doing a bit of research of candles that don't come with lids, like some of the really fancy brands like Jo Malone. There's the Diptyque ones. I'm not sure I said that properly, but there's a lot of different brands that don't have lids. I don't think you need to have a lid. As long as it's packaged well and looks nice, why bother? So that's what I'm thinking, like 1 pour wax, 1 sticker, none of the faffing around. It's going to make life much easier. So I think I'm just going to start slowly incorporating that as a candle range with what I'm doing as my brand. I think redefine my brand a bit more. Exactly who my target audience is and what I want the brand to look like. I think I've gone a bit too far narrow with what I want to do. I think I've, like I said, Frankensteined it a bit. And it feels like I gain some really good customers, then I lose some of them by changing again, then I gain some really good ones, then I lose some by changing again. So this is just kind of what's happening in my brain at the moment, the sort of thought process behind it, and what's happening in my brain. Now I'm determined to make candle making a sustainable business for me in many aspects, because that's what I've been doing for the last 4.5 years. And it will definitely happen. I'm getting so close, I'm getting closer and closer and closer with each thing I do. Obviously the chopping and changing dilutes the brand massively. It doesn't help because people don't know what they're getting from me all the time. But I think once I'm on the right path and I've got that one thing that I know that works and that feels like it's right, then I know when I need to pull the trigger and go all in. And I thought it was these, but they're just too much hard work. Whereas I know with something like that, which is one pour wax, I could easily do like a couple of hundred in a day, and then it's not going to take me that long to label it. So I think I've been going about this in a slightly roundabout way by trying to make things too different. I think simple is best. And I think something like this I can market as an artisan luxury brand and make some improvements along the way. That's kind of where my head is at the moment. And it does feel quite vulnerable sharing everything in this one, because I've shared all the waxes I've used. I'm sharing what I'm going to be doing moving forwards. So whether or not I even post this video, or whether it's just going to be for my own conversation with myself of, right, this is the next step. This is what I think is going to really work. Because then I can turn this into a proper lifestyle brand. Whereas I don't think this is a lifestyle brand, this is just a fun, quirky candle. Because I need a brand with other avenues and opportunities that I can go down, that I can branch off. Because ultimately there's only so many candles I can make myself. Unless you hire someone or outsource it. Not sure what else I need to say now, because that is it. Like I said, whether or not I'm going to post this, I don't know, because this is a lot of sensitive information here, and I've had people copy me and do stuff before, and a lot of other candle makers do. And then people will try the waxes and they'll go, oh, it's not worked, and they'll send me messages and be like, how'd you get this to work? How'd you do that? But it's all through testing different wicks. Like, I could tell you the wax to use, but getting the right wicks is going to be a nightmare. But it's trial and error, all of it, trial and error. Yeah. What to do, that's the thing. I think just one good pivot is all I need to do the thing and get to where I want to do. And it needs to be scalable. Everything I've done so far hasn't been scalable. It's just been too faffy, too many processes. So I genuinely think this could be it. Just pure soy wax as well. If I can get this all to work, then boom, I think we're going to be onto a winner, and something I can market well and something I can promote well. Everything I've learned so far, all the skills in candle making, marketing, Amazon, all of this, I think it's going to be tying up together. It's just going to be putting in the work now and selling all the random crap I've got in my spare room, which is my candle place. So anyway, I think that's about it for this video. Another monologue. Lucky people. But yeah, there will be some upcoming wax testing videos and things like that, wick testing. It's just trying to have the time to do it. There's so many things I want to do, I just haven't got the time. And when I do have the time, I'm so tired that I procrastinate and I just watch YouTube videos. So it's a vicious, endless cycle of life. And same with content. There's so much content I want to do and put out there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about all of this. I do read all the comments and tend to respond to most of them. And it's nice to get an insight from other people, because my knowledge is limited to my brain and I can't always see what everyone else is seeing, the way I come across and the way things look in terms of my candles and what would sell well and what the market ultimately wants. So yeah, that's it. Peace out.